Good day and hello. I'm actually have to redo a video here because I realized I might not have been using proper language. My name is Brian. Today this time I'm actually going to talk about problem solving from a healthcare perspective. Now what I mean by this is, of course, that usually a symptom is reflective of a certain problem. Now of course if you solve the symptoms, does that actually solve the problem? No. But if you solve the problem, that usually will solve the symptom. Correct? I may not always be actually correct on some of these things, but it's what makes sense to me, obviously, in which case it may not actually be true, false, right, wrong, or anything else. It's just what seems to fit. Now, so what is the actual problem with healthcare, since that's sort of what the actual issue in this case is, using healthcare to describe the issue of healthcare. And of course, I'm using healthcare in the broad term here of dealing with symptoms, problems, and all that type of stuff. Well, most people usually, when they get down to boiling it down, usually say it's the cost of healthcare. Well, what is the cost of healthcare? Most people will then start throwing numbers at you, dollars and cents. But the thing is, $100 today is not the same as $100 tomorrow, let alone 5 minutes from now. So you have to actually break it down in such a way that you can look at the costs, people, goods, services, time, effort, without actually using dollars and cents, because that should be somewhat static. Obviously, there's going to be some fluctuation, but it's a lot more static than the fluidity of money. So the question then would be, how do you reduce those costs that go into healthcare? Because right now, with the whole thing that we're doing right now with this insurance and covering the costs and everything else, that seems to be more of a distraction/sideline. You know, you're covering a symptom, but the problem's still there. So it's going to fail in either case. So why are they doing that? Well, because they said they want to take care of healthcare and this is the fastest way they can do it? I don't know. I don't really follow politics too much other than what I hear on the street and maybe some videos here and there. So my suggestion is, what is the actual problem? Cost of healthcare. Okay. Well, just using that word right there, cost of healthcare, what's your solution? To pay for healthcare or to reduce the cost of healthcare? And then, of course, there's, well, what is the cost of healthcare? What's the pieces that go into the cost? How can you reduce the cost of it and still get the same quality? Efficiency, among other things. Very simple stuff. And the way I usually work through this is, of course, by using the different tools of thought of just breaking things down and looking at it and how it all goes together. Because the thing is, usually a symptom is an example of a problem. Well, what if that problem is just another symptom of a different problem? And you can go around through a whole cycle of it, such that the whole problem itself is actually a cycle. Well, once you actually can define what that cycle is, what that problem is, you look for the weak point in that chain. And that's the part that you'll attack, because then you break the cycle. Or do you just swap out a piece of the cycle, the problem's still there? That's what seems to be what most of the problem is, it's just covering it over. But you actually want to solve that problem. So you got to look at what the problem actually is. And part of it is usually you state what the problem is, but you actually see what the problem is. I hope you have a beautiful day.